My girls hold me down, them boys mess around. My love life is a mess. We're going out tonight because I'm looking for love. That's right, y'all. It's your girl Barbie J here, and we are talking about Sisters, Season 3, Episode 8, Little White Lies. Now, let's be real with this. We knew who was going to get caught in this damn thing. We already knew. We didn't even have to watch the show because you knew how it was going to end. Didn't you know? I know I knew. Anyway, before I get started, if you have not subscribed to my channel as of yet, please take a moment and subscribe right now. Hit that little subscribe button. And if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, hit the little notification bell and it'll let you know. Come on now. Help assist the channel grow. So what we're going to do now, we're going to like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. That's what we're going to do for Barbie J. Okay, so let's get started with this show. And I forgot who asked me to sing that theme song again. They was like, sing the theme song again before you start the review. So that's what I did. Okay, now, of course, Fatima hears groaning in Andy's bathroom. We all knew. We heard the female's voice. We heard the man's voice. And I was like, he got to be on a freaking phone or something. We knew that's what it was going to be. But she calls Andy and telling her to get home. She suggests she come home and try to stuff on and do this. And I'm like, just tell her what the hell it is, what the problem is, you know. So after several times of, Andy refusing, girl, you're not going to tell me, and Fatima refusing to tell her what it is and why, Andy finds that, I don't like this, I'm going to come home. Fatima kind of got Andy in trouble, but let's be real, Andy got her damn self in trouble because she lied. She lied, is what she did. Anyway, so it switches over to Sabrina. Somebody tell me, what the hell, okay, I know they say Sabrina's supposed to be the fashion one, but what is that she wore? When she came into the club and sat down, the thing was dragging like she had a tail, like it was a wedding dress. I'm like, what? Why would you be wearing all of that to your job at the bank? I done worked in too many banks. I've been in too many banks. I ain't never seen nobody walking with their dress flowing like that. So, Sabrina, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Anyway, so she arrives to the girls' meeting spot. Where's that place called? The steam plant or whatever. And she's in a mood and she funky and everything with the attitude. And some guy come up to her trying to talk to her, and she won't even look at him or give him the time of day. And he finally calls her by her first name, because she's like, I'll just have a drink. I'll just do this, I'll just have a drink. That's insulting when you don't even bother to look up to somebody. I know she was in a bad way, but anyway. So, but before that person came over, she was on the phone she called Danny, and she's telling Danny what happened with Jacoby at the bank. He was yelling her name out loud and everything, and yelling at sexual harassment. And so Danny said, I'm on my way there, girl. And that's when this guy comes and tries to talk to her and all this stuff. But you was all bubbly to talk to to Danny. Not that she was bubbly, but she was, Anyway, let me just get off of that. So the guy uses her first name, and she look up like, do I know you? He said, Alfuego. Alfuego from college. She said, what? She looking him up and down like, what? You look good, Alfuego. Alfuego wasn't hard on the eyes at all. He did look good. And so he was from college. He lost weight. He got his teeth fixed and all this stuff. So she hugged him and saying how good he looked. He said she looked good too. He asked about the girls. They still around? And she's like, yeah, they going to be here later tonight. He's like, really? So she was like, you want a drink? Yeah, he said he wanted a drink. But first he wanted to buy her a drink. When he sat down and started talking, then she asked him, did he want a drink? Next thing you know, he like, well, I got to bounce. I got to go. So she's like, you're not going to have a drink? No, I'm going to be late. I got to, what is that called? A bachelorette party. She's like, that's strange. Like, men don't usually go to bachelorette parties. She's like, he said, oh no, we the entertainment. I'm a dancer. She's like, a dancer, I'm like, shake it, shake it, shake your booty. Shake that booty. Okay. Anyway, so after all the small talk, he bounces, and he's like, "Oh, Danny's coming. I better leave because I owe her $5." She said, "Yeah, Danny don't be forgetting stuff like that." I'm like, "From college? Come on, Danny. She must owe everybody money. Gotta." So him and his boy they bounced, and he gave her a card and said, "Stop by and see his show sometime. Come to club, eat, and then check him out." And his name is Alfuego, the human taco. I'm like, hello, the human taco, and I'm trying to picture why you would have that name, Alfuego, the human taco, but maybe we'll get to find out one episode. Who knows? Anyway, this is TP land. Anything can happen. So Andy enters. Andy gets home and she hears the moaning and the groaning, and she entered that bathroom just like she thought something was going on as well. But I knew Gary wasn't that stupid to be doing nothing in the house. So in her house at that. So he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" She's like looking all around like, "Who are you in here with?" He said, "Oh no, I'm on the speakerphone with my therapist, Angela." She's like, "Oh, hi." Angela's saying hi to her, and she's like, "Oh, hi." So she's still looking around like, who is in here? I know I heard a voice. So he says she's trying to help me work out the issues he had from last night and all that stuff. So Andy said, okay, she leaves, she goes and tells Fatima, what it was. She said, "Oh, you thought he was cheating." And she said, "No, I thought he was," and she was like, no, girl. She said, "But you was ready." She said, you was ready. Thanks for having my back," or something like that, she said. So she said, "But I know what I heard. I know a woman's voice." She let her listen to the door, and they saying, "Let it out. Let it all out." She said, "Oh, let it out, not let it out." Down here. So anyway, so Fatima leaves, and she's got to call everybody and push it back because now Andy's home. She didn't have time and all this stuff, whatever. What else goes on? Danny shows up to the club all dressed up, and Sabrina's taking her back, like looking at her. I know she's been drinking, but she's like, "Why you all dressed up?" She said, "Well, I just want to look pretty and feel pretty and stuff like that." And she's like, "Yeah, you usually wear your uniform. Why I can't just look like that?" "Nah, you really usually don't even care. You wear your damn uniforms." She said, "The only time you get dressed up and do that is when," meaning she ready to break up with somebody or just broke up with somebody. So she told her that she's ran into Alfuego and stuff. She said, "Oh yeah, he's still shaking his ass down at the Eden." And she was like, "You knew that? How'd you know that?" "Oh," she said, "Yeah, that used to be my spot back in the day, girl." She said, "Woo, he really looking good." She said, "Yeah, he ain't that good to be. It ain't good enough for me to. He don't shake good enough for me to be throwing no money at him," or something like that. She said, So then who comes in? Karen comes in. Karen shows up and she sees Danny in that outfit, and she's like, she said, "Did you and the cowboy break up?" She said, "Why you gotta say that? Why it's all about that?" She's like, you wearing your third strike outfit. That mean that when they got 3 strikes out, putting on that outfit. So Karen asks them that anything interesting happened to them, because she told about her subpoena, but she didn't tell them. She said, "I'll tell y'all today, when Andy gets here, I'll tell y'all all about it." But she want to know, did anything happen to them? They don't know nothing. So Andy and Gary are talking. She comes out there wearing that hot short dress, hot pink. I knew it was too dressy, and she knew that shit was too dressy, trying to act like she don't care nothing about that man. She was so interested in him and wants that attention. She wants that attention. When you know you got a crazy man at home, you don't need to be dressing like that, honey, to get that attention. I know it's your body and all that, but you got crazy. You go to sleep. You got to be sleeping with one eye open, and come on, it's Gary. Anyway, he asked her, why did she come in the bathroom like that? And she said, "Oh, I was concerned. I heard the sounds." He said, "Oh yeah, it was strange sounds coming out of there, And he was like, "My therapist thought it'd be that a smaller places work best for me, She said, "Well, is it working?" Andy was like, "Is all of this working?" And he said, "Yeah, sorry that it's taking so long, but it's working." And so he's like, damn, you looking really nice tonight. And he's like, not that you don't look nice all the time when you go out with the girls, but you look exceptional. You know, like, who you going out with? I told you before, honey, I'm going with the girls. And he's like, shit, I was looking at the outfit saying, come on, Andy. You know, so he said, but why you wearing that to go out with the girls and stuff, you know? She said, well, I'm not changing. And he's like, she said, you trust me, right? He said, yeah, I trust you. It's men I don't trust. I said, and he had a right to, because that man was trying to get Andy to his hotel room, and Andy is so gullible. She's so, you could see right through that child. Anyway, so he said, she said, well, stop worrying about the man and worry about me. You know, she said, let this be the test. You trust me? You know, that's you working through this, all this, and da-da-da-da-da-da, all that stuff. So he said, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm not doing it. She said, and then he go, what spot you going to again? And she said, I'm going to the steam plant. And he's like, okay. And I said, watch. He going to show up. Just watch. Okay? And then Andy, they switch over to Andy calling Fatima, who's sitting in a lingerie in the house waiting for Hayden to show up, and she's like, asked her to call the attorney and have him meet her at the steam plant. And she said, I don't know, girl, I think the Carlisle in the back is better. She said, no, because I told Gary that I'm going to be at the steam plant with the girls, and that's where they're going to be, so it'd be better if I'm there. I was like, she's like, okay, are you sure? And for the Tima's like, I'm going to ask you as a friend. She said, I'm going to do it for you because you my damn boss, okay? But I'm asking you as a friend, are you sure? You don't, what's the matter? You don't trust yourself? You say, no. But she said, okay. And that's where all that mess came in. I don't understand Andy. All these degrees and college educated and ain't got one bit of damn common sense. Not one. Not one. No, not one. No, not one. Oh, Lord. Anyway, so Andy arrives and says hello to Karen. Hi, Karen. Karen said, hey, you know, whatever. And Danny was telling her that hello was kind of cool, that cold hello and stuff, you know. But Danny, who is it? Sabrina was telling her what happened at the bank. And then Danny says, he yelling, me too. He yelling, me too. Like the Me Too movement. And Andy said, what did she? Andy said, I'll take care of it. She said, I'll take care of it if you want, you know, and if I can't take care of it, I'll have somebody at my firm take care of it. So Sabrina was like, really? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sabrina's all upset and nervous about her job and losing. She said, baby, just relax. I see you stressed, you know. So then Andy and Danny are looking at each other and they complimenting each other on their outfit. She said, looks very weddingish or something like that, some comment. And Karen said, y'all both full of shit. You know, like, shut up. Don't try to start no mess up in here, you know. So I thought it was funny because she said it real quick and I was feeling the same way, like, y'all need to stop. So Danny asked Karen, don't you have something to say to your dearest friend Andy? And she said, yeah, I do. She said, and she apologized for the way that she said what she said at the photo shoot. So she apologized for the way that she said it at the photo, but she ain't sorry for saying it. And I understand that. I clearly understand that. I had to write that down because I was getting twisted around. But, you know, it's the way you say it. Sometimes that's the issue. Not what you say, but how you say. And she said, well, when she said that, they said, oh, come on. Danny's like, you could do better than that. And Sabrina said, you was wrong for leaving. But Danny was like, try again, you know. And she was like, look, that's my honest apology. She said, it's an honest apology. That's all I got, you know. And so she said, yeah, I might have been wrong for leaving. I didn't leave. But she was like, I'm not down for this. And I'm not going to stand around and watch you make this mistake. So she got to understand that, you know. So Andy accepted the apology or whatever. You know, she know where Karen's coming from. And so she said, Karen goes, so now do you have something to say to me? And she's like, huh? What? And everybody, Danny's like, I'm Confucius. And Karen's like, I mean, Sabrina's like, what's going on? And she said, for what? She said, you know what? I'll just show you. You know, she pulls out that subpoena, and y'all didn't get yours yet? Y'all didn't get this yet? And they was like, no, what? You know, and she had asked them earlier, I thought about that too. So she said, go ahead, read it, Karen, Andy. She said, Gary's wife is suing us, suing her for alienation of affection, and she naming all of them as accomplices. They like, what? Because Danny was like, I done paid off, I did my time. I don't know what they talking about. I ain't got no, she doing all this silly talking and stuff. But they sitting there, and she said, the best part is at the bottom. Go ahead, read on, scroll on down, Andy, read on down. The best part is his wife is in jail for shooting Gary and holding Andy at gunpoint. They all are like, what? When the freak did this happen? You know? And I said, see? She said, see, she didn't want us to know what all this that went down. See, and all of that happened before that damn wedding thing. And she never, when were you going to tell us? When was this? When was that? And she said, she didn't want us to know, y'all. You know, and she didn't want us to know what kind of drama he bringing, who he is. It was just crazy. So then she's trying to explain, she came and Gary lost the key, and then she came to the house. How she knew it was Gary, it was your key? He didn't lose that damn key. She took it off the keychain. Anyway, so she trying to do this weak explanation, and then the dude, Robin, shows up and said, oh, and this big smile comes on her face. Did y'all check that smile? She glowing like crazy, cheekbones out to here. Anyway, so he saves her kind of. She introduces him, Robin, to all of them, and then she said, I'll be back, and walks away. They sitting there going, she invited us to this damn place. You know, she over there with the guy. Anyway, so it flashes back to Hayden. He finally shows up to Fatima's house, and he's like, I'm kind of surprised you called me. You know, I thought you mad at me. She said, for what? You know, well, that stuff with the ex-con, and nah, I'm okay. So you want some wine or something? Yeah, I want some wine. Okay, make yourself comfortable. Make yourself real comfortable. And then she go over there to get the wine, and she texting, I guess it was Zach. She was texting to tell him to get there. So they doing some small talk until Zach arrives, and both of the men are looking at each other pissed, like, what kind of damn game you paying for, Tima, and all this stuff. They want to all leave and walk out. She said, no, I need, sit down. Zach, who are you talking to? You know, none of them. I ain't sitting down. I'll stand. Hayden's like, I'll stand too. And she just laid into both of them, and she told them, I told you I'm a crazy fucking bitch. I was like, oh. She said, and when it turns on, I can't turn it off. Ain't no stopping me. So I'm trying to tell y'all now. And she laid into Hayden, and Zach is sitting there like kind of chuckling. And then she turned around and said, and you, Zach. And she laid into Zach, and Hayden standing there like, you know. And I just like, she just laid into both of their asses. What kind of woman you think I am that I would do this and stuff? Now both of y'all get out of my house. I said, ooh, Fatima was not playing. So she kicked them both to the curb, told them both to step and get out of her house. And then they both, she talking to you. She wasn't talking to me. She was talking to you. She went in her room, told them both to leave. And they wasn't who was trying to leave first. No, she talking to you. No, she talking to you. So Hayden finally went out first, and Zach was behind him, but then turned around and went back and sat down and got comfortable on her chair and just chilled on her couch. And she comes out dressed up, about to go out, and he said, well, where are you going? She said, why are you still here? I told you, get the hell out of my house. And it wasn't hell, she said, get the F out. And she, he was like, nah, don't leave, come on, don't leave. And he tried to kiss the door. She's like, Zach, stop, because he know her weak spot. She's like, stop, Zach, don't do that, you know. And you know what happened after that. The rest is history, or should I say her story, because we knew her story. Once Zach started touching her and done, she was going to be like, So that was that. And it ended with back at the steam plant, and the girls are annoyed that she invited them there, and she's still sitting there with this dude, Robin, at the table. They don't know who he is or anything. Sabrina's like, well, I would be over there with him too. He kind of cute. You know, did you hear that voice? It's sexy and all that stuff. And she just drinking, and they said, well, who is she? Who is he? Nobody seemed to know. But she over there with him. So Meanwhile, Robin is talking to her, and he's like, okay, she said, well, we done, and he's like, I'm getting up and going. He said, you're not going to stay? We have another drink, come back to my hotel room. She going to flash her engagement ring like, I'm engaged, baby. So that's it. He said, oh, it looks kind of small. I said, oh. She was like, really? She tried to show that shit off. He said, that looks small. Anyway, I'm sorry. He probably would give her a bigger rock. I don't know. So after she flashed the ring, he said, you got a beautiful smile. And she said, so do you. I'm like, dumb bitch, what is wrong with you? I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why you telling him he got a nice smile and he is kind of attractive and stuff? I can say that, right? I mean, we're professionals. I can get away with saying that, right? It's professional. I'm like, girl, you drinking way too much right now. You need to get your ass up and walk back over to your girlfriends. That's what you need to do, because you making a fool of yourself right now with that. And so she said, look, he said, well, why don't you just come over to my hotel room and have another drink, a nightcap and stuff? And she was like, no, I'm gonna go. He said, come on, have one more drink here. She said, I'm gonna finish this drink and then I'm gonna go. Now, when she said I'm gonna finish this drink, peep what's on her table. It's a red wine. I'm gonna drink this wine, and that red wine is on her table, right? She gonna have that one drink, and then she gonna go back over to her girls. When it flashes the next scene at her, they both got white wine on the table. Hello, TP. How y'all recording these scenes and don't realize it was red wine before and now it's white wine? That's a big distinction. They did not have another drink, because when people are drinking like that, especially wine, they don't mix red and white. People are usually a certain thing. I like red dry or whatever, or white sweet or whatever. That's how people drink their wine. So I'm sitting there going, okay, y'all messed up with that scene, switching the wine glasses and stuff. So she's sitting there talking and all this stuff, and I said, here it come. I saw the body coming over. Bam! Gary came right over to her and standing there. Just like that. She could have probably, in her pants, she was probably so nervous. You lied to him. You knew he was coming. Trust me. That's when he said, no, if you wasn't trying to be cute and attractive and getting attention, you wouldn't have wore that outfit. You'd have kept on what you had on at work, and it wouldn't have looked suspicious. But you made yourself suspicious with that outfit. And it's clear to the rest of us out here in TV land, we know what you're doing and what you up to. So anyway, y'all, that's what happened this episode. Y'all let me know down in the comment section how you feel about everything. The scenes coming next week when Gary sits down with them and all that, that'll probably be more interesting than this episode really was, So this your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.